Today, we're going to dig into a really new approach to crypto marketing, one that uses AI to take super dense technical documents and transform them into compelling stories that actually build real credibility. All right, let's just jump right in with the one question that pretty much every product founder is wrestling with. You've built something amazing, something groundbreaking, but how in the world do you get serious investors to actually stop and pay attention? The tough reality is that most projects just don't make it through. They get completely tangled up in this endless cycle of short-term hype, and they really struggle to communicate the core value of what they've spent so much time building. And that really brings us to the fundamental problem that's kind of plaguing the whole industry right now, what we're calling the credibility crisis. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Generic ads, paid shoutouts from influencers, they just can't get across the depth of a really complex project. They completely fail to build the one thing that you absolutely need, and that's trust. So it all boils down to this one fundamental choice. Are you building your strategy on lasting trust, through education, transparency, and the fundamentals, or are you just chasing that fleeting hype with paid shills and to-the-moon marketing? Honestly, this one decision is where so many marketing budgets just go to die. Okay, so let's take a look at how this challenge actually affects different kinds of leaders in the crypto space, because this is definitely not a one-size-fits-all kind of problem. So here we're seeing four really distinct versions of this same challenge. You've got the brilliant tech founder who's struggling to explain their creation, all the way to the community lead who's trying to get their DAO into the mainstream. They all have a different problem, but they share the exact same need. It's not about making more noise. It's about finding the right story. So, with all these challenges laid out, how do you actually build that story? Well, this is where a pretty cool idea comes into play, an AI-powered storytelling engine. So the whole core of this service is an AI system that's built to do one thing incredibly well: find the clear, compelling story that's hiding inside all that complex documentation. It's really about turning a dense, kind of boring white paper into a powerful narrative that people actually want to listen to. And the process itself is really methodical. It's all built on substance. It kicks off by basically absorbing all of a project's data to build this huge, comprehensive knowledge base. From there, the AI helps pull out the most powerful insights, the key angles that investors actually care about, before a single frame of video is produced. And the result is this deep dive story that's totally grounded in fact. And look, to get the real story, you have to go deep. This isn't about just glancing at a homepage. The AI synthesizes everything, from the code in the GitHub repos and the technical docs to what was said in recent AMAs and even what the community is saying on Reddit. This whole process makes sure the final story is authentic and built on the project's entire digital footprint. Okay, but let's be real. Creating a fantastic piece of content is only half the battle. Getting it in front of the right, crypto-savvy audience, well, that's where the magic really happens. So first, that narrative gets shared with a super targeted audience of over 7,000 subscribers on a YouTube channel that's all about Bitcoin trading. Then it's amplified as this long-form SEO-friendly article for more than 2,000 readers over on Medium. And finally, it gets dropped right into a crypto-native Discord community with over 700 members to spark real, direct conversations. And at the end of the day, this isn't just about racking up views. This whole strategic distribution plan provides powerful third-party validation. It's the kind of social proof that tells the world your project is a serious contender. So what's the bottom line here? How does all of this add up? Let's look at the long-term payoff, especially from the viewpoint of a marketing manager who's trying to stretch their budget and make a real impact. For a marketing lead, the value here is crystal clear. You're not just buying another one-off ad. You're investing in high-quality, professional content that actually elevates your brand. This gives you a way better ROI compared to that money pit of ongoing influencer deals, and it delivers the one metric that really, truly matters: genuine investor trust. And remember, this is not a one-and-done campaign. This service creates an evergreen marketing asset you can use again and again. It makes onboarding new community members so much easier, it gives you a clear ROI with a simple one-time flat rate, and it builds the kind of lasting trust that hype could never, ever buy. So look, if your goal is to build a narrative that's actually based on substance, not just speculation, this is how you get started. It's time to turn all that documentation into digital gold. So I'll leave you with this question. In a market that's so often driven by pure speculation, isn't demonstrable credibility the ultimate asset? If you think it is, connect with us on LinkedIn to see how this approach can line up with your project's goals. Because in a market this noisy,
A clear, credible story isn't just an asset, it's everything.